Well, it worked until it didn't. My tent pole came down on me at 4 in the morning. And that is pretty startling when you're sleeping. I can't over exaggerate how crooked this tent site is. This is the hardest part psychologically, is changing from my sleeping clothes into my hiking clothes. There is nothing that is dry, that is not cold. Nothing is remotely close to warm. Room temperature is probably 40 degrees. It doesn't last too long before your body warms it up, or you just forget about how cold the socks or the pants or the shirt you put on were, but it's just, it's demoralizing. That tent site looks better than it is in the daylight. It stinks though. Short walk up to the PCT. Ooh, I already see hikers. And we are back on the PCT. And for the first time since some random day, a one-off before I got the Snoqualmie, I am on the trail at 7:30. The hiker I saw was Steph, who I took the bus to Cleef with, and I hadn't seen him since day 3. This is only the second time I've seen the sun in as many days.
I didn't have any. I could say it's standing somewhere, but I'm not gonna go there anyway before I go home, so it doesn't make sense to send it there.
Well, I might not be at the top, but I feel like I'm definitely out of the woods and have climbed out of the Milk Creek area. It is so nice to be out of that rain jacket. I'm about to take the rain pants off. Everything is saturated from sweat and water, but the sun's out, so I'll still be hiking and sweating, but maybe I can dry out a little bit.
There have been a lot of blowdowns yesterday and today, but I am in the land of the giants now. I don't know how to get around this. I am not going under that. This is the way. So you could go over it, and typically I like to, rather than just walk more, but that really seems high. So risk versus reward. I will walk around and probably still end up having to go over something. Possibly, potentially. Okay. Camera's got to go away while I figure this out. The trail yesterday in the rain was a lot like this. And there's a lot of comments in Far Out talking about it. Blowdowns and overgrown trail and deteriorating, eroding soil. You just can't cruise through it. It's not that bad. There's a way through or around or over everything. I'm stuck. It's not easy, but it's not that bad. You're just not going to go fast. So I ate around 12. I was paying attention to the time. It feels like I've been moving now for an hour and a half. With all these obstacles, I'm not sure what I've hiked. But it's not all blowdowns and eroded soil. Some of it is cruisy like this. But you have speed bumps and obstacles. So my point is, if you're reading Far Out comments about Section K in Washington, north of Leavenworth, you can throw them out the window. They're fear-mongering. Yes, you should be careful. If it's raining, it's even more tricky, challenging. Probably shouldn't do it alone at night in the rain, but that's what a wilderness is supposed to be. You know, maybe I just have a better understanding of a wilderness, or maybe some people just like to complain anonymously or semi-anonymously in Far Out, but a wilderness is supposed to be blazed less, and they're not supposed to pick up all the blowdowns and debris, and it's supposed to look wild, like it's untouched. So you got a trail. The trail's pretty easy to read. You should be happy with that. Well, the PCT challenges you one last time and makes you earn it. Going to eat lunch. I am not going to take the tent out and let it dry. I think it's dry enough. It was dry when I was getting out of it this morning. I mean, a little damp, the vestibules, but a little bit alarmed with the tent hanging out of the side of the stuff sack. Glad I cinched the strap down enough to pinch it on the top. Otherwise, I mean, I have the stuff sack tied to the strap so I wouldn't lose the stuff sack, but I can't sleep in the stuff sack, so the tent's kind of important. I don't need that slipping out. I am going to put the tent in the pack after witnessing this. And I took the time to take my shoes off. I want to get a big day. More on that later. So I need to let my feet breathe. I looked at the miles a couple hours ago, and I just was on pace to get like 22, 23 miles today. I had 46 when I woke up to get to Stehekin. I just don't want to wake up with 23 miles left to get to Stehekin. That puts me there at the end of the night. It would be great to take the early bus in and get everything I have to get done tomorrow, Wednesday, But I'm kind of thinking I want to get there and take the 3 o'clock bus. I want to be able to stop at the bakery on the bus, pig out, get to Stehekin, learn the lay of the land, and get some things done tomorrow, Tuesday, and then wake up Wednesday, enjoy the town, maybe even shoot back up to the bakery. I guess they have bicycles. I do love bicycles. And I'd like to be on the 6 o'clock bus Wednesday and be back out. I was thinking about how the trail's probably going to end up finishing for me, and I think getting in and out of Stehekin and being on the 6 o'clock bus to hike to Hearts Pass Thursday and Friday is the way I want to do it. I want to be able to give myself the option to get there to take the 3 o'clock bus. So that all comes down to leaving 20 miles tops on the table, and that is asking a lot of me tomorrow. I would need to wake up at about 5. I need to wake up at about 3:30 to hike out at 5. And I've done that before, but I don't often do it anymore. I think the last time I did it, I was up all night because I was in a terrible camp spot, and that was south of Crater Lake. So it's been a long, long time. I am okay. I'm going to take some Advil just in case, but I was walking across this plank and I grabbed onto this and my foot slipped and this leg got wedged down in between there, about midway through my lower leg, my shin. So that is it. That's how you break your leg, and you have to get helicoptered out of the wilderness. In shock, let out an audible, ah! But like I said, that's how you break your leg. Sprained ankles are always on the menu, but it's just the down tree was slippery, and it was a recipe for disaster. And the only thing that probably saved me is I got my hand on that other limb to decelerate a little bit, I guess. It happened very quickly. But I'm assuming that if I wasn't holding on to that, I'd be done. I'm trying to feel my leg now that the shock's worn off. It's fine, but we'll see if I end up with any discomfort. I'm sure I'll have some bruising. It was wedged in there pretty good. Well, since the trail didn't just kill me, I will pick up this wrapper. I wish that it was a full Rice Krispies treat in there. Trail's under there somewhere. I have to go up this way to find my way through this. Coming up on a creek. It's 7 o'clock. I'm gonna grab a couple of liters. I already have one before I go get to camp. So it's just about 7:30, and I decided I have to do a little bit of night hiking. I hit a rhythm before lunch. Most of it was downhill. There's been a fair amount of uphill climbing this afternoon after lunch, but I made up some time, and if I go another half hour, hike till about 8, maybe a little after, I can make it to 20 miles away from the cabin where the bus picks you up to go to Stehekin, and that's good. It gives me a chance to make the 3 o'clock bus. Now, I could completely roll over and not wake up and not break camp at 5, but that's my best chance, is to break camp at 5, and that gives me 10 hours to hike 20 miles and get there right when the bus is leaving. It was so amazing to see Steph earlier. I mentioned that I might run out of food. I had plenty of snacks, but not a dinner for tomorrow. But I was trying to get to Stehekin tomorrow, and he said he had extra food, and he gave me a ramen and a Jack Link's beef stick and cheese. So I asked him 3 or 4 times if he was sure. I always thought he was an amazing person.